Once again, a very good morning to you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to IBEX India 2025, which is synergically co-located with Smart Tech Asia. The theme of this year is technology and innovation in an AI-driven era. Good morning, everyone. I'm your host, Dave, and I see so many familiar faces here and some new faces, and which is such a wonderful thing to happen. Namaskar, Jai Hind. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Devdatta Chand, MD and CEO of Bank of Baroda, Mr. Rajneesh Karnatak, MD and CEO of Bank of India, distinguished guest of honor, Mr. Ruben Lim, Chief Executive of the Singapore FinTech Association, Mr. CHS Mallikarjuna Rao, Honorary Chairman, IBEX India 2025, and former MD and CEO of Punjab National Bank, other distinguished members of our advisory committee, sponsors, speakers, moderators, knowledge partners, our erudite audience, drawn from leading banks, NBFCs, insurance companies, and financial institutions, and dear colleagues, our friends from the technology and media fraternities, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dev from IBEX India 2025 Exposition Conference and the Technology Excellence Awards, and today I stand in front of you in this age of deep tech and digital disruption, feeling privileged in welcoming you to the 12th annual edition of the landmark marquee IBEX Conference Expo and Technology Awards. This year, our landmark marquee event will witness a power-packed collaboration, a co-location with Smart Tech Asia, as you just witnessed the traditional ribbon cutting. Before I move further, may I call on stage Mr. Mallikarjuna Rao and request him to usher on the dais Mr. Chand, Mr. Karnatak, and Mr. Ruben Lim. I am informed that Mr. Lim is on his way, and welcome, sir. He is here. Please join us on stage, sir. Thank you, Mr. Lim, for having graced this occasion this year. And before I start, may I request all the distinguished dignitaries to the audience to keep your mobile phones on silent or vibration mode as a mark of respect for the speakers and the proceedings of the day. Thank you. Friends, I'm reminded of a quote by Alan Kay, and who said, "The best way to predict the future is to invent it." Today, we have assembled here to celebrate innovations, technologies, and outcomes that is a result of the immeasurable hard work, diligence, and industriousness of the Indian banking, insurance, fintech, and financial services sectors. IBEX India, as you all know, has been the most definitive platform for banks, insurance companies, and financial institutions to source information, gain knowledge and experience, cutting-edge technologies and products to deliver seamless and secure user experiences in this era of digital transformation. And the second hugely successful run of the IBEX BFSI Awards also reflects deeply on our commitment to recognize and celebrate technology, innovation, hard work, smart working, and excellence in the Indian BFSI landscape. As we all know, there is a huge tectonic paradigm shift that is happening in the Indian BFSI landscape. Let me assure you that we have secured the presence of very senior industry professionals, and we have a stellar lineup of prolific speakers to debate throughout the next 2 days on the business, technology, and innovation challenges and opportunities in the ever-evolving Indian banking and financial service sectors. I now initiate the inaugural session of our 2-day conference with great pleasure. Friends, we now have a very brief, to start with, but yet very important presentation by Capgemini, our knowledge partner, for the 2024 edition of the conference and awards. We'll have the unveiling of the technology and innovation and AI-driven era by Ms. Paramita Gupta, Executive Vice President, Financial Services at Capgemini. Can we have Paramita on stage, please? The next 15 minutes belongs to Paramita. Thank you, Paramita. 10. Sorry, I was being a little more generous.
As long as I can get your attention. So, hi everyone. I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having me here. I was thinking about starting this speech. It's around technology, AI, innovation. So I thought, I'll resort to ChatGPT for some clever jokes, but then I was scared that ChatGPT will be more humorous than me and I might just not live it down, right? So I just thought against it. But, I'm really very thrilled to be here with all of you at the IBEX BFSI Conference 2025, discussing one of the most transformative forces shaping our business today, technology and innovation in an AI-driven era. So much so that 1st January this year, I changed my role from COO to Gen AI leader. But jokes aside, I am Paramita Gupta. I am the Gen AI acceleration and industrialization leader for the Financial Service Organization in Capgemini. And I'm delighted and honored to be here in this prestigious event conducted by IBEX. IBEX has played a very pivotal role since its inception and has been a vital platform connecting the banking sector with advanced state-of-art technologies. So, we're talking about technology and innovation in the context of BFSI and in an AI-driven era. So BFSI as a sector has seen, massive transformation, right? From the traditional banking, and I started my life as a banker way back in 1997 with HSBC. My father was a banker, so we had a family of bankers. Banking kind of runs in our blood a little bit. So as a family, as a person, I've really seen, how banking has evolved from traditional banking to digital first, and now, ushering in and actually scaling in an AI-driven era. The need for continuous improvement is chasing us at our heels always, right? There's rising customer expectations on one hand, and, there's increasing risks, the ever-resourceful scamsters on the other. So there's a continuous need for banks to continuously leverage technology to stay ahead, right? Today, most of us in this room, on this dais, in the industry, are exploring, implementing, or scaling different ways in which artificial intelligence and, specifically generative AI is used to reshape now not just how we make our operations efficient, but how we engage with the customers, right? How we develop new products which are more secure, which are more efficient, which are taking into cognizance, taking in its fold all the data, the proliferation that is happening all around us, and also how we redefine our internal business models. So I'm here to talk about that, and I thought I would break up what I'm talking about in 3x3 matrix, right? So I'll try and have 3 points for each of the 3 categories that I touch on. So the first category, let's munch on some data. As of today, last year, 75% of global banks have implemented AI-driven solutions in at least one, if not more, operational areas, right? So that is the scale at which we are trying to harness across, the banking sector across the world. We are trying to harness the power of AI. The global market for AI in banking, right, was valued at 8.3 billion in 2021. It's growing at about a compounded annual rate of more than 25% and is slated to reach 65 billion by 2030. So that's how large it is. And as per a recent research by Citibank, embracing AI technologies can boost the banking sector's profits by 170 billion, which is about a 9% growth rate by 2028. So some statistics to understand, and we all know how important it is. So whether you are a fintech entrepreneur, whether you're a banking leader, you're a financial service, financial institution heavyweight, keeping up with AI trends is essential, right? As of today, in 2025, 43% of BFSI leaders consider AI to be an essential component of their operational plan. It's no longer strategy, and it's no longer a vision, mission level. Okay, so on to my second category of 3 categories of what I thought I will discuss with you today. So there is a lot of technology that we are already consuming, right? And I think 3 of the most salient or the most widespread use cases in banks today, one of them is AI for personal banking and customer engagement. Every bank is using it, right? Every bank is using AI to, AI-driven chatbots, is using virtual assistants. Almost every bank is doing that for enhancing customer experience, yeah? So one of the key, I recently worked with a global retail bank, implemented helped them, implement Gen AI to enhance its customer service operations. So they deployed, like many others in the industry, they deployed AI-driven chatbots, predictive analytics, virtual assistants, who not only answered customer queries, but, took advantage of the customer footprint, the preferences, the goals, the customer history, to give hyper-personalized financial service advice, right? So, and I'm sure most of us in this room, most of our organizations are leveraging these capabilities, the chatbots, the assistants, the predictive analytics, and we are hopefully seeing and measuring the rise in customer satisfaction and reduction in costs. And this is, again, what McKinsey actually has identified as one of the most powerful use cases for AI in banking. Personalized experiences that drive loyalty and engagement, yeah? The second most, widely used and leveraged capability or the use case is really in fraud detection and risk mitigation, right? Usage of machine learning models to make fraud detection and cybersecurity not only more proactive, but also increasingly more efficient, beats traditional methods hands down. Vast amounts of data are processed, a large number of patterns, seemingly unrelated patterns, can be linked with the power of machine learning. And AI helps us identify potential risks and provides insights that helps us make informed decisions better, faster, more efficiently. And I think the final thing, which I think all of us have been using in many shapes and forms, whether it was automation and now generative AI, is really in our own internal, internal operations, right? To increase process automation, to increase operational efficiency, streamlining back office operations, right? Reducing manual tasks, reducing human error, and eventually reducing costs, making our organizations, our banks, our financial institutions a lot more agile and nimble. We are using automated loan processing to AI-driven customer support, and these innovations are enabling us to be more efficient and effective. So what did we discuss? We discussed the topmost, at least in my experience, the top widely used use cases, which were around customer experience, fraud detection, and process automation. So you might ask that, that we are all using that, and where do we see the next wave, right? Who are the new kids on the block who are keeping us awake or who are making us wonder about their potential? So again, there are a lot of expertise, there's a lot of subject matter opinions out there, but from our experience, working as one of the largest partners of financial service industries worldwide, we see 3 things again, right? So one is the widespread use of Gen AI in decision making. So whether you are using Gen AI to make your risk assessment more pointed and sharper, right? Or whether you're using it in helping in your wealth management part of the organization and making portfolio optimization better. You could be using it in hyper-personalization of financial services. We touched upon that a little bit. Or you could be creating niche services like pet insurance, right? All of us, I think, more and more will be using Gen AI in decision making in our legal departments, in our audit departments, where there's a huge, traditionally we've been using huge amounts of data and cutting that whole time down, frankly, to a few hours or maybe less, right? So the way I see it, the way I see my, my customers, my clients, they're using this more increasingly in their offers and their products, right? And there's a second trend that we are seeing, and I think that has a lot of interesting promise just because it gets two very strong technologies together, is blockchain and AI. The integration of blockchain and AI, this enhances at several levels, right? And it enhances your data security, it enhances integrity, it enhances transparency, operational efficiency. So what it does is it brings together AI's predictive capabilities and machine learning algorithms with blockchain's decentralized infrastructure. So what that helps you do is, you have more sophisticated data analytics, you have better forecasting of potential vulnerabilities. And there's a very interesting thing actually that happens. What happens when you combine AI and blockchain? Blockchain actually records all the decision making, all the different steps that an AI machine has used in its decision making on a blockchain. And that is available to all the real-time users, all the decision makers on a real time. So you can actually go back and check it for failures or issues, and it helps you strategize and plan more effectively later. And I think the third part of my 3x3, really the third use case that I see coming up is around RegTech and compliance. So regulatory technology and compliance automation. Here again, the holy trinity of AI, ML, and RPA have immense potential to transform how banks manage regulatory requirements, right? Of having a lot more efficient KYC and AML compliance, of having continuous regulatory updates and proactive risk management. So those are, really a few leading use cases in how the BFSI has been consuming technology and innovation in the AI-driven era. The way we can increasingly more and more, the last three that I talked about in decision making, in RegTech and compliance and blockchain are areas that we can step up starting now, going ahead. But of course, it's all very exciting. It's exciting to see whether it's ChatGPT or whether it is Perplexity, turn around large volumes of data, give sharp, pointed answers to whatever questions we have. But there are a lot of ethical considerations. And I know that all of us, right, in our industries, in our organizations, are ensuring we balance the potential of AI with its ethical implications, with the challenges of data privacy, algorithmic bias, of ensuring transparency in our AI implementations. And these are critical concerns, right? And especially in the financial services sector, where data integrity and trust are so paramount. So, we'll all continue to strive and ensure that our AI strategies aren't just innovative, but they're responsible, they're ethical, they're non-biased, they're transparent, and they're aligned with the regulatory standards, which keep getting tougher and tougher, whether it's in EU or in other areas. I think that's another thing we need to keep in mind. AI is not to replace the human intervention, right? AI is not to replace the human insight. It is to augment it. It is to enhance it. It is to, make our thinking sharper and better informed. So I think that is important, and it's important to synergize the human insights and the expertise and the native knowledge that we get with the efficiency and the power that AI gets, right? So, looking ahead, in this particular forum, I think I would say the potential of AI in banking is limitless, absolutely limitless. But we need to not only look at and limit ourselves and our conversations to efficiency gains, right? I mean, we can completely transform our operations, our offers, our interaction with our clients with AI. And I think the three things, again, I keep coming back to the threes as a pattern, I think, in my particular discussion. But the three things that I would kind of urge or request everyone to do is probably what you're already doing, is investing in research and development, one, partnering with fintech companies who are doing pretty state-of-art, unique work in this space, and nurturing our own talent so that our own talent can keep up with the advances that our IT organizations or a CIO and CTIO are asking us to do. So by doing these three things, we can stay ahead of the curve, we can lead the way in this era. And so this is not any technological advancement, right? All of us have faced many technological advancements. We've moved from checks to ATMs and done many other things to mobile banking, but this is actually a complete paradigm shift. It is an opportunity for us to redefine the future of banking, making it more efficient, secure. So let's embrace the possibilities, let's address the challenges, and work together to build a better, brighter future for our industry. With that, I will hand it over to our host to guide us to the next part of our journey today. Thank you so much for the time, and I look forward to discussions with you in the day. Thank you.